What's up, guys? SeaOtterGamer here, back with some more Realm of the Mad God Exalt. Now, the last character that we got, which was the Samurai, dropped just over 2 years ago. So it is just about time for us to have a new one, and this one dropped today. That's right, it is the Bard. Now, the interesting thing about the Bard is it's a bow class, but it's also a robe class. So it's got all the stats of a robe class, but it's got the damage of the bow class, which it's gonna be interesting to see how that works. So let's just drop right into it. I know we played the Huntress last time. Ooh, that's new. I don't think I've ever seen that. I know we played the Huntress last time. We're shelving her for a minute just because, well, obviously a new class is here. We got to try out the new one, right? So what does take that? So what does our special do? Within 4.5 squares, inspire for 3 seconds, which gives you a range multiplier of 25% more range than where you were before. And that's for everyone around you. So that'll be especially interesting to see what happens to, to wand users, since they already have the highest range in the game, right? But then also to melee users who like to kind of hang back and not contribute as much. Ooh, what do we got here? So cooldown goes up a little bit. 4.5 squares for 3, and the time goes up. Okay, I mean, I'll take that for sure. Why not? And any upgrade's a good upgrade, right? Anyways, so I'm interested to see how this class plays out. Like we said, it's kind of an amalgamation between two other types of classes. So, it'll be interesting to see, how balanced it is. I was watching some other people kind of talk about this class a little bit, and they said that, and I haven't formed my own opinion yet. This is literally the first time that I've played, but a lot of them are saying that this class kind of doesn't really do anything better than any other class necessarily. It's kind of, too well balanced, I guess. Is that even necessarily like a thing you can say? Like, it doesn't really do anything that other classes can already do, except for the range, which I don't know. We're going to have to see how useful that is, I suppose. But all right, let's go ahead and take that. But either way, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's kind of a what's that quote? Jack of all trades, master of none. Whatever that quote is. This is that character incarnate, basically. So right now it's a little bit painful just because of how slow you fire, but hopefully as we level up here, it'll get a little bit better. But either way, that's not really everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. I know every video I have a little bit of something planned for us to talk about. So in this case, we have the Bard, which is gonna be really the highlight of the video. I think probably the good thing. Unfortunately, I have some bad news kind of as well. So just spoiler or trigger warning at the beginning is kind of gross. So if you don't like bugs, then you probably won't really like what I've got to say today. If you've been following me on Twitch or on Instagram or on Twitter, then you'll probably already know what I'm going to say. It's basically something that's somewhat taken over my life a little bit in the past 3 or 4 days, ever since Sunday, really, pretty much. So anyways, you were warned. Basically, on Sunday, actually it was Saturday night, my son came in. They take their showers at nighttime, right? Just before bed. My son comes in and is like, I found a bug in my hair. And, they've been playing outside most of the day, so we didn't really think much of it. Like, all right, well, probably just flew in there when you guys were playing outside, and it's not really an issue, So, but the next morning, I just thought, hey, we should check up on and see what's going on, right? And when we looked in his hair, we saw a bunch of little white dots, right? And these white dots are called nits, right? And a nit is basically a lice egg, right? So yeah, I mean this is it's such a weird time for my kids to get lice because they have not been out of the house really, other than like Mother's Day, in like 2 months, you know. But I think we figured out what happened, right? So my daughter's best friend at school, right before they closed all the schools, right? She had lice, and her mom didn't keep her home from school. And of course, you know, 9-year-old girls at school and stuff, they're always like hugging each other and that kind of stuff, which means that did we kill that slime? Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't really mean to do that. I was trying to avoid that, but can't undo it now, I guess, right? So my daughter's friend gave her lice. Now the sad / bad thing about it, right, was that was a month and a half to 2 months ago when she would have gotten it, right? Which means that my daughter, who has really, really long hair, right? Like everything was just completely infested with lice, right? And it's pretty gross. Like, I don't know if you've ever had lice or known someone who had lice or had that experience, but having lice is just kind of gross because you just feel, I don't know, unclean. You feel like there's just stuff like crawling all over you basically all the time. So my daughter had it worst of all, right? And I actually almost caught it like a week prior to this because I was looking and I saw some little white things in her hair, and I went and looked at it and I pointed out to my wife, and she's like, "Oh, it's probably just dandruff, right?" Because I guess there wasn't as that much of it, or we weren't thinking that it could be lice because our kids haven't been out of the house for like a month and a half, right? So, oh, actually, we need to go this way. So, my daughter had lice really, really bad. My son had it pretty bad, right? But the good thing about that is that we just shaved his head because that destruction of environment, basically getting rid of the hair, right, is one of the best ways to get rid of the lice, because if they don't have anywhere to live, then they can't live on your head, right? So I shaved his down to a number 1.5, which I think is like 3/16 of an inch, right? And I also shaved my head down to a number 2 at the same time. So we match, yay! Now my wife and my daughter, who both also had it, they wanted to keep their hair, obviously, for obvious reasons. So I cut my wife's hair pretty short. She cut my daughter's hair into, like, I guess it's called like a bob, right? We'll take that. Any upgrade's a good upgrade, right? And that I feel like we're doing much more damage now. And so they have shorter hair now, which, you know, it looks good on them, and it's going to be summer here pretty soon. So I feel like it's one of those things where it'll be a lot cooler and that kind of stuff with a little bit shorter hair, right? Gotta take the good with the bad, I suppose, right? Or take the bad. How does that go? Good with the bad, bad with the good? I don't know. Either way, I think the expression works, honestly. So I think it's take the good with the bad. I'm not exactly entirely sure, but either way. So Sunday night we figured, or no, Sunday morning we figured that out, right? We spent pretty much all of Sunday like washing everything that they could have come into contact with in our house. So we bought some, we have a better robe. We bought some lice killing stuff that you put in your hair. It's not really like a shampoo. It's like a cream that you put in your hair, and then you basically wash it out, and then you're not supposed to wash your hair for a few days, right? So this cream kind of sits in your hair and I guess kills them, right? So we tried that. Today we tried putting what's called Cetaphil in, which is a type of soap, or maybe a brand of soap. I'm not entirely sure if it's a type or if it's a brand. Either way, you put that in your hair and then you blow dry it out. You don't rinse it out, and it suffocates all of the little lices because it's kind of like living in Jello, I guess, a little bit or something, or maybe Vaseline or something, right? So we tried that today. We'll see if that works too, you know. Basically trying whatever we can to get rid of lice, which once you have them, they're kind of hard to get rid of because they're on your pillows, they're on your clothes, they're basically everywhere. Now the good thing is they need your body heat to live, and they also need to suck your blood to live, right? That's how they feed. So if they are off of your body for somewhere like 24 to 48 hours, then generally they'll kick the bucket and die. So we spent basically all of Sunday and a lot of Monday cleaning everything in our house. A lot of the stuff went into the dryer, and then we put them on high heat for like an hour to just basically kill all of it with heat and sterilize it. It's not been a fun time. In fact, that first night that we were doing that, our me and my wife's like sheets and stuff didn't come out of the dryer until like 3 a.m. So I was super tired like the next day. And I basically, I'm like, hey, I talked to my boss. I'm like, hey, here's our situation. I'm just taking Monday off. That way one of us being me or my wife, can watch the little baby, and the other one can do stuff around the house to try and kill all of these lice and get ahead of it before it becomes an issue. So that has been basically my life the past few days. Now the bad part about it is that it also means that I haven't been getting as much sleep lately because we've been doing a lot of stuff around the house and that kind of stuff, right? So I feel like my stream's been suffering a little bit from that. Like I can't quite exactly I'm not as entertaining because I'm just too tired. So I've been thinking about taking like a day or two off. I'm probably gonna stream Thursday, see how that goes, and then maybe I might take Sunday off and just sleep a little bit more, right? Why do we still have this in inventory? We don't really need it. I mean, we weren't using the space for anything else either, so I mean, there's that too. There's really nothing here we need, but we'll go for the extra EXP. So, have you guys ever had lice? Have you known anyone who's had it? Let me know. I was talking to one of my streamer friends. His name's Verse the Stream. His name's Nick, actually. But he streams on Twitch basically around the time, slightly after I do. I met him because he was playing Hades, which was a game that I've been playing as well. So I'm like, oh, let's find someone who's playing it and see, you know, a little bit more about the game, right? Anyways, where was I going with this? I don't even remember. I don't even remember where I was going with this. My mind is completely dead right now, basically. Yeah, I might take a few days off. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll recover. Maybe I'll die. Who knows? But either way, I do appreciate. I know Satan and MC has been in the streams pretty much every day. I see Octo every once in a while popping in. All of you guys who've been visiting the streams and hanging out. Tuesdays we've been playing together. Like Tuesday nights are community night, so that's our night to play together. Last week we played Valorant. Which for those of you who are uninitiated is a battle royale game. So no, not battle royale. Sorry, I'm thinking of Warzone. Because I just got done playing Warzone with the group. Ooh, T5. Valorant is a tactical shooter a la Counter-Strike Global Offensive mixed with like 80% Counter-Strike mixed with, I don't know, 20% Overwatch, roughly, right? So, hey, what's up, Maverick? Anyways, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I did not have as much lice as everyone else. And I think part of it is, well, there's two things I'm thinking of, right? One is that the shampoo that I use. So my father has male pattern baldness, right? And my mother's dad does as well. So my grandpa on my mother's side. Has it as well. So I'm basically screwed for the most part. Like it's coming for me someday, right? And so I basically have been using this shampoo that's supposed to help keep hair follicles a little bit longer, right? I can't remember the name of it right now. It's not like Rogaine or anything. It's something different. It's not like a topical or there's a few different ones. There's Rogaine, and then there's I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a pill you take. I haven't tried either of those because the thing with Rogaine is if you don't leave it in, or if you don't continue to use it, then you'll lose all the hair that you get back from it. So it's one of those, like, if you start using it, you're using it for the rest of your life, basically. They get you hooked, I guess. Either way. Oh, we don't need that anymore either. Anything here that we need? Not really. So I didn't really have it. So I'm thinking maybe all of the chemicals that are in that shampoo and conditioner mix maybe made it not a very nice place to live, right? The other reason why I may not have had it as bad too is, or it appeared not to have it as bad too, is because I shaved my head, which kills a lot of it too. It gets rid of a lot of them. So it could be that I had more, but when we shaved my head, most of them got killed, right? And there's several different, I guess, stages of lice. So we talked about the nits. No, those are like little white. They do look a lot like dandruff, honestly, but they're little white egg sacs that are on your hair, right? And then they eventually will graduate and become nymphs, which are just little tiny baby lice, right? And I always imagined lice to be kind of like little worms in your hair, kind of like little grubs, like little white maggots, kind of, but they're not. They're actual like little bugs. I don't really know how to describe them. They're pretty gross though, right? So the nits will become nymphs, which are little baby ones. I guess they're pretty small. They're kind of hard to see sometimes, right? There's a comb that you can use to try and get them out of your hair, which is what we've been doing as well. And then once those have been in your hair for 7 to 10 days or whatever, they'll become adults. And then you definitely don't want adults, because those are the ones that will make the nits, right? And then they'll keep propagating more of them. So interesting fact, I suppose, is that the term nitpicking comes from lice, because those little nits, you can't like comb them out. They're stuck to your hair pretty tightly, which means that you basically have to use your fingernail and slide them off of the hair, or pick them off, right? So I'm pretty sure, I'd be surprised if I'm wrong, that's where the term nitpicking comes from, right? So either way, the past few days has been us basically every day going over every little square inch of everybody's head with the comb and checking to see if we can find any nymphs, or if we can find any nits or adults. Thankfully not as many adults after the first day, right? And getting rid of them so that over time there won't be any more left. So we're getting pretty close. Like I said, we did some Cetaphil today, and that encapsulates them. It keeps them from breathing and suffocates them pretty much. So hopefully in the next few days this will be all basically taken care of. But it's pretty gross though. Like when you're picking through somebody's hair and stuff like this, your scalp just is in a constant state of itching, because your brain basically is telling you, hey, if it's on this person, that means I probably have it too, so you should scratch your head and try and get rid of it, right? I guess the same thing happens with like yawning and stuff. That's why yawning makes other people yawn, because you yawn because it's your brain saying it needs oxygen. So if you hear somebody yawning, then I guess your brain's like, oh no, I guess I need oxygen too, right? That's pretty much it. So I'm sorry if our conversation today took kind of a gross turn here, but hopefully you guys maybe learned some stuff. We only found like maybe 1 or 2 nymphs on my hair, so it wasn't too bad for me. My poor daughter, like I said, she had the worst of it. Oh, and good news too. Good news is our little 1-year-old daughter hasn't had any. We haven't found any on her. We've been checking her every day. She hasn't had any, so we're kind of staying or keeping the kids away from her a little bit since they had it the worst. Obviously, me and my wife can't keep away from her too much either because we're, you have to like actually feed your children and play with them and make them want to love you, right? So mostly I've been trying to help out with her the most since I didn't have any / don't have any anymore. But check out the picture on Instagram though. I don't actually think I look too bad with a buzz cut. I might actually just keep this. So when you have male pattern baldness, like I do / will, right? There becomes a point where you can always tell, like, people are like, oh, I'm going to try and keep my hair as long as possible. They kind of like lie to themselves almost like, oh, it'll be fine, and after a while it just starts to look bad. So I never wanted to get to that point. So I was always like, I'm going to enjoy my longer hair basically as long as I can. And then eventually I'll just buzz it all off. But I guess the good news is that I have now one of the 2 streamer / YouTube haircuts, right? Like, there's really 2 of them. There's the brightly colored hair a la Ninja or basically anyone else on YouTube. And then there's the buzz cut / bald, kind of like, I don't know, Joe Rogan or what's his name? Northern Lion or maybe Vsauce, Michael from Vsauce, right? So I guess that means I'm finally initiated into the YouTube / streaming world. So I guess I got that going for me, which is nice. But no, I don't think it looks that bad. I think it actually makes me maybe look a little bit tougher if I do say so myself. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That picture is up on my Instagram / Twitter. Probably be able to find it pretty easy, Let me know what you guys think. So we've been at this for about 22 minutes. We're only level 9, mostly probably because I've been yapping instead of actually focusing. I guess we could have gone to the Godlands and maybe leveled up a little bit quicker. But I don't know. What do you guys think of the Bard? Have you played him yet? Have you formulated an opinion on whether or not you think that they're going to be a fun class to play? I'm a little bit skeptical because it is a support class. So I think a lot of people like to play more non-support classes like, Knight or something, right? Which I guess Knight does have the stun, which is, I guess, somewhat supporty in a way, right? But I could see a lot of people maybe not. Oh, I didn't even use the ring. I picked it up, but I'm an idiot and I'm not paying attention because I'm talking about lice and other gross things. So you've probably been yelling at me for the past 5 minutes like, hey, you dolt, you gotta actually equip your stuff. I guess we don't do that anymore either. Maybe we should kept the attack one. I don't know. Doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. Dexterity gives you a little bit more attack as well, right? Because it increases how fast you fire. So either way, we got a little bit more attack, I suppose. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. Right now, I'm not entirely sold on it yet, but we also haven't gotten to level 20 yet, so I can't really formulate an opinion. Plus, I've heard some of the white bag items for the Bard are actually pretty nuts. So, we only have a T1 lute. By the way, lute is like a type of guitar type thing. Right? It's a stringed instrument, kind of like a banjo mixed with a guitar-ish. I don't really know how else to describe it. You've probably seen them if you watch The Witcher, right, on Netflix. The toss a coin to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. That whole thing, right? I think he's playing a lute there. Come on, we couldn't do a Bard video without singing some. I guess that's not Dandelion. What's his name again? I don't even remember. It's not Dandelion though. Because I remember it was weird. I'm like, in the game, his name's Dandelion, but in the show, his name is something else. Would you get out from behind these rocks and these trees? You know what? You're not even worth my time right now. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the class. I think it's interesting that they are changing up, like, different types of armor subsets with different types of weapons. I know that that's how other classes work too, but you have I guess a magic robe with a non-magical bow. So I don't know, that's interesting. Oh, I accidentally hit R. Well, you know what? It's 25 minutes. This is probably a good time to leave as any. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Bard. I'm gonna probably level him up to 20 before our next video. Not sure if I'll do the Bard or the Huntress for the next one. Let me know what you guys prefer to see. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. And I will see you in the next episode.
It was one.
I heard one short. Good kill.
10 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Short.
Last tag.
Good job, guys.
Right.